Check out the artwork on this box. This can mean only one thing. We got a new jumping spider from Southwest Jumping Spiders. So I'm going to cover a couple of topics on this video. First of all, there's obviously the unboxing, which I have already unboxed the spider to make sure that it's okay. But I wanted to show the artwork of the box and also show you how I'm going to clean out my spider enclosures so that I can put the new spider into it. But first of all, check out the artwork on this box. This is absolutely brilliant artwork. I mean, look at that. Fantastic. Southwest Jumping Spiders. They always have the best artwork for their stuff. Now, I have already unboxed it. There's a nice little note in here from them. I'm not going to read that out because I want to get onto that subject, and that is recently their Facebook page got took down by some malicious people. I don't know if they're jealousy or what, but their page got took down, so they lost everything. They're now back up and running. They have a website now, which is way better than using a Facebook page. So if you are interested in looking at what Southwest Jumping Spiders and Mantises have to offer, check the link in the description. That will take you to their website. So, of course, with that box comes a new spider. This is a Phidippus commatus. I hope I got that right. If not, its common name is the hairy tuft spider. I'm not too sure which it is, if a male or a female. We'll ID that in the coming weeks, obviously, as it molts. And we also got a nice gift from Southwest Jumping Spiders, and that is a Bulgarian Mantis. I believe it's a Bulgarian Mantis. Do correct me if I am wrong. So as always, I'm not going to mess about with this spider, so I am going to be limited on the B-roll of these two little ones because, I'm not going to mess around with them. The live creatures, they've been through the post, they've been shook up. I want to get them straight into their enclosure. And that goes for the photography as well. There won't be any photography in this video because I want to get them settled in. But I thought I'd just take you through the procedure of me cleaning out the old enclosures ready to put the new ones in. The first thing I want to do is use some newspaper, put onto my desk so that we are a little bit tidier than I was last time I did this. And I'm going to start with one enclosure at a time. I'm going to do the jumping spider first, and then it's literally rinse and repeat for the mantis. Now for the mantis, this is only going to be a temporary enclosure because he'll grow quite quickly and then he'll go into one of those sweet jars I have. But this will be the permanent home for the jumping spider. The first thing I need to do is to strip out everything from inside this enclosure. So I have some tarantula feeding tongs. These are great for reaching inside your enclosure and grabbing stuff. Now most of the stuff that I'm featuring here will be in links in the description, so do please go check that out. They are Amazon affiliate links. They do help the channel to grow. Now the jumping spider that was in this enclosure died of old age, and he's had I'd say about 2 months worth of feeding in here. And because I like to decorate my enclosure, sometimes you can't get the dead fly bodies out until you remove the debris and that's in there. So that's what we're going to do now, is just take out these flies. So that's done. So what I want to do now is get rid of all the old webbing. But I'm pretty sure if you was to move out, you wouldn't want to sleep in the same bed that the previous owner has in that house. You'd pretty much want your own new bed if you moved into a new house. So we're going to get rid of all of this webbing. Now what I want to do, I want to be able to see my jumping spider as much as possible. I'm going to be cleaning the inside of this cage, which on a plus point, we're going to be able to see our jumper and watch him make his new hammock and all the other fun stuff that jumping spiders do in their enclosures. On the downside, it will mean for a couple of days, our new jumper might find it hard to crawl on the glass. Now, a couple of people have commented on that and messaged me about the fact that their jumpers can't climb the glass, but just leave them in there. Eventually, the jumpers will put down anchor points that they can grab onto and they'll be able to climb up and down. And on that shot there as well, you can see on the left-hand side, you can see all of the little anchor points that the jumping spider previous to this little guy. Let's put down on the glass, and that's how they climb up and down the glass. The next thing I want to do is just clean the inside of the glass. So we've got normal kitchen toweling with normal water, nothing in the water, no chemicals or anything. And we're just going to clean the inside of this glass. And I'm going to do this without taking out the sand as much as possible, because the least amount of mess I can make, the better. I'll also take off the old sticker that tells me what species was in here. This was an old Phidippus regius spider. And he lived to a nice ripe old age. I think it was 2, the spider that died in here. I think he was 2 years old. Which by my standards is pretty good age for the spider. Okay, so there he goes. That is all cleaned out. So next I'm going to do the cover, because they do like to reb up the mesh on the front, which it does make me a bit concerned. Maybe it's restricting the airflow, but I'm no expert. Maybe one of you experts out there can tell me if a spider revs up the mesh, will it restrict the airflow? Let me know in the comments below if that is the case. But we are going to get rid of all of that. There we go. We've got a nice new and clean mesh on the front of there. I'll also inspect the enclosure to make sure that there's no gaps, because one of my spiders managed to undo the glue and get out. I'm not too sure why, because all he did was sit on top of the enclosure waiting to get fed, so I'm not too sure why he did that, but that has happened before. While I'm at it, I'm also going to tidy up the threads on the mesh, because it's gotten a little bit long in the tooth, a bit worn out. And then to get rid of those little bits, I'm just going to burn it off. They just wear out over time, and I suspect the next time I clean out this enclosure, we're going to have to apply a new mesh to it. There we go. That's all done now. There you go. Nice. So next we need to put our decorations back in. So I'll put a little barkwood in there. Let's clean up the flower. It's got a few bits of pieces on there. Got a lot of spider poo on it, so I might get a new flower in the coming weeks for this particular enclosure. Dig that in there. We shall then mist the inside of it. And now here comes the important part, okay? So this little guy, he's been through the post, so he's been shook about, he's had a stressful journey, and I don't know this spider very well. I don't know if he's ready to molt, I don't know if he's recently molted, so I have no idea. So instead of taking this little chap out and throwing him in there, what we're going to do is we're going to put this container inside the enclosure and then just open the lid. That will allow the spider to come out on its own if it wishes to, or if it's ready to molt inside this container, he'll stay in there while he molts and then he will emerge. Once he comes out and makes a new hammock in the enclosure, I will then remove this container. I'm going to open it carefully. Now I have already opened it once, so I know that he's okay, but I open it carefully just to make sure that there's no webbing on top of there, because he might have made a hammock there to molt, and we just don't know. I'm just going to place him inside the enclosure. Let me show you that. You can see there, he's inside the enclosure, and I'm just going to leave him there like that, and then eventually he'll come out and make a new hammock somewhere in that enclosure. Now the last thing I want to do is give him some food. So we have some fruit flies here. So I'm just going to open it up, knock a couple out, and then we will close the enclosure like that. And there we go. That is him all ready to go up onto the shelf behind me. And I have to do the same again for the mantis. Now this time I'm going to do it pretty quickly. And I will skip the video and come back to when we have finished cleaning the mantis out, and I will show you him being put into the enclosure. Okay, so the enclosure is now ready for our mantis. Like I said before, this enclosure is only going to be good for a couple of weeks because mantis like a tall enclosure. So we are going to be swapping him over to a bigger enclosure. But while he's this small, I think he'll be perfectly okay in this enclosure. Now, as for the mantis, we don't need to put the pot inside the enclosure because he's already active. He's perfectly okay. Okay, so there he is. I'll just put him on the edge here. He will just literally just climb straight in. There you go. Let me show you that. There is quite happy there. So again, we're going to grab some fruit flies and just throw a couple in. Oh, he's already spotted the fruit flies. Oh yeah, he's definitely hungry. He's going to go for one of those in a minute. If that fruit fly comes anywhere near him, it's dead. Boom. And that's him. He's quite happy. He's very happy there, just eating away. Okay, so we're going to put that there. Just put it over the side. Keep him there for now. Keep this pot because I like to keep these pots in case I need to put anything in. And that goes for the fruit fly pot. These fruit fly pots, they are great for capturing subjects like we do on Macro Monday. Moving on. Now, there's two reasons why I'm not photographing him today. One, I want him to settle down. And two, I've acquired a new piece of equipment for macro photography that I want to test out on this jumper spider. That will be coming up in a couple of weeks on the channel, so look out for that. So we have a new jumping spider, a Phidippus comatus. I can't pronounce the Latin name. It's known as a hairy tough spider. It comes from North America. I like to stick to my North American type of jumping spider because then you don't need any specialist equipment like moisture. You don't need to keep the humidity up in the cage. You don't need heat mats and stuff like that. That's for the more seasoned jumping spider owners than what I am. And then we also have what I believe is a Bulgarian Mantis as a gift from Southwest Jumping Spiders. Again, their Facebook page was taken down, so if you are an old customer of theirs and you're wondering what's going on, that's what's happened. It was took down. Again, their new website is in the description below. Please go click on it. You can buy the spiders from their website. I will also leave Maria's website down there, which is where I get my Regal Jumper Spiders from as well. But that's where I shall leave it. My name's Stewart Wood. I want to thank you for getting to the end of this video, and I will see you on the next one. Check out the artwork on this box. This can mean only one thing. If not, then it's known. Here we go again. I've got to put my chair up. So the first thing I want to use here is some newspaper. Ooh. Better do that again, I think. Let's turn that around. And like I said before, this enclosure is only going. So we have a new jumping spider. That's a Phidippus comatus. I can't pronounce it. Phidippus. A Phidippus comatus. I can't pronounce the Latin name, but it's a